All right, all right, all right. Let's get I don't know. Can we be mad at a woman for once? It feels like the past 10 have been us being mad at men. You know what I'm saying? Somebody was complaining about misandry the other day. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm not like a men's guilt type of person. I just calls it as I sees it. If I see somebody that sucks and they're a man or a woman, black, white, anything in between, I don't really care. You know, I'm equal opportunity when it comes to whether or not you're an asshole. Like, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat nothing. Okay? So let's go. AITA for not changing my name for my mom after she spent the last 18 years hating it. Okay. So when my parents were expecting me and my mom, so when my parents were expecting my mom decided to name me Catherine Elizabeth. What is going on? Like, I'm sorry, dude. The amount of times my mom decided to name me Catherine Elizabeth. I need a comma. My brain just reads straight through that. Me and my mom, is how it naturally... when my parents were expecting me, my mom decided to name me Catherine Elizabeth. I need to know there's a pause there, okay? My monkey brain cannot, just do the math in my own head. Okay, anyways, have we wasted enough time on the first sentence? My mom felt strongly about the name Catherine, and Elizabeth was my family name on both sides, so it was kind of a compromise name. Neither loved it, but mom didn't like any of my dad's choices for middle name, and my dad didn't like Catherine, and with my mom saying no to the middle name, they decided to use a mutual family name. During my birth, my mom suffered many complications. She was rushed for an emergency C-section and ended up needing multiple blood transfusions and was out of it for a couple weeks. That sounds like a lot of fun. You'll go through a lot with these pregnancies, man. Absolute nightmares. Anyways, during that time, Dad decided she was going... Obviously, most pregnancies are fine. Focus on the story, QTEEP. During that time, Dad decided he was going to name me what he wanted since my mom cut him out of choosing my first name. When she was out of it for a couple weeks? Ugh. Dude, what? Dad, what's wrong with you? You just had like the birth of a nightmare birth, basically, and while she's out of it, you just yoinked the name? Oh God. What is wrong with you? Alright, anyways. And I ended up with my name. My dad loved it, but my mom hated it. She had no say in the name. By the time she was healthy enough, they were told they would need to pay to change it. Mom was bitter. My parents are still married, but never recovered from it, and I 100% get it. My mom was betrayed and is angry that he went against what she wanted while she was at her lowest point. Well, somehow we managed to still find a man in this equation that's an asshole. Like, this dude sucks. Oh, finally, an opportunity to name the child what I want. All I had to do was have, my wife go through a nightmare birth. Ugh. Dear God, man. Holy shit. I can't even imagine. I would literally tell the doctor, like, no, I feel like we wouldn't really have those kinds of complications. Like, we just kind of, not birthing, I'm talking about naming. We'd probably have it pretty set. We don't really disagree on these types of things. We're pretty good on names around here. But anyways, the thing in all of this is I love my first name. I got the middle name Elizabeth still. I still don't care for that either way. But I love my first name, Catherine, okay? Even though my mom hates it, she always wanted me to be Catherine. Okay, wait. What first name did you actually get? Did I miss something? All right, whatever. She always wanted me to be Catherine. After I turned 18 a few weeks ago, she asked me to let her pay for me to change my name. She said she regrets not doing it when I was a baby, but she admitted my name makes her so angry and brings the betrayal up to the front of her memory. So she would love for me to wear the name she chose now, but I hate Catherine. I don't want to be Catherine. The thing is, I love my first name. What first name did you get? Did I miss something? You got Elizabeth as a middle name. Did you just not tell me what the first name is? How good? The only way I can decide whether you're not an asshole is how cool your first name is. Whatever. I'm joking. He just named you whatever. This really upset my mom. She thinks my name is dumb. It's a unique and not common name in the US as a name. And I admit it's not for everyone, but it is for me. I wonder what your name is. I'm glad I ended up with my name over Catherine, but I know my mom is struggling with that realization. She really thought I would want to be Catherine when I turned 18 and would be glad to do it with her offer to pay. She told me how disappointed she was, and she asked if I would consider it for her. I told her if I did, it would make me unhappy. She got kind of mad, and she implied she felt betrayed all over again. Well, I mean, it's not really on you. I don't like the idea of her blaming you for this. You like your name, and it is what it is. They're still together, though, which is kind of crazy. My parents are still married. That part is kind of wild to me, that your parents are still married with this going on. She seems to really hate that name. I don't understand hating the name as much. I don't know what the name is. I could totally understand not liking the name Catherine, I suppose. I'm not a huge fan of the name Catherine. No offense to any Catherines out there. I think it's just because in my life I've known some Cathys, you know what I mean, who are Yep. I don't know what it is. Yapping and smoking cigarettes. That's what all the Catherines I've known in my life have done. You know what I mean? And they've mainly been like my friends' parents. So that's like a preconceived like thought that I'm already having in going in and seeing the name Catherine. I'm sure your mom doesn't see it that way. She knew a Catherine that was a strong, independent woman who got things done. Me, I'm over here like, nah, that's Kathy. She smokes 20 cigarettes every 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? That's a personal thing. I don't think you're an asshole. I think your dad's an asshole. I think your mom's a little bit of an asshole for not understanding that you like your name now. And her and your dad clearly have to work through that. It's crazy that they're still together if this is such a big deal to them. If it's like betrayal again. But then again, to me, the idea of a name isn't something that I would break up with somebody. Although the dad just doing it when she's like post-surgery, going through a nightmare birth, that is insane, dude. Dear God, I can't even imagine doing that to somebody. It's our child. Let's wait for listen, doctor, we were having a back and forth. Let's wait for her to wake up. Let's get this back in order. She'll be in a coma for a month. I'm not going to go through with this until we kind of figure this out. She wants Catherine. I'm such a simp for my significant other that I would probably just be like, you know what? She wanted Catherine. We don't have I can't even relate because we don't even have these talks. Like, we've talked about names and we just agree on the names we've talked about. We just like the names we've got. We came up with names we both liked. But we don't have any weird like family attachments to any of the names. You know what I mean? Not the asshole in your mom should have left your father because, no offense, he's a manipulative asshole. That is something I would never forgive and never and leave him over. At the end of the day, it's your name, and if you love it, that should be all that matters. True. For an infinite cost peanuts, as an adult starts to get expensive, so many documents to change. Yeah, probably. See, I'm always going to take the case, like, I don't know these people, so if this was like the only real big argument that they had, although him doing that while she's like out of it is crazy. Maybe they truly do love each other and this wasn't something to completely end the marriage over. It's easy for me as an outside person to be like, oh, if he's doing stuff like this, but once again, like, dude, like, can we get some terrible women in this? I end up hating the man more in this equation. Something doesn't add up. Mom would have had to sign the birth certificate application. A C-section and blood transfusion does not knock you out for a couple of weeks. She could have changed it so easily the first year before you responded to the name. Her window of name changing is long closed. At 18, your name is really a part of your identity. My dad was allowed to do it, and he did it while my mom was still unconscious. My mom was very sick after she had me. It took her almost a full year to fully recover. I didn't get all the details, but it was bad. Wow. I mean, it's obviously the case, because if the mom truly hated it, she would have made it happen. And she wouldn't have signed that birth certificate if she truly hates the name. So even though it doesn't add up, you kind of wonder, like, why would she agree to sign this birth certificate? She truly hates the name. Catherine Elizabeth is a wonderful name. The best name, in my opinion. Puts birth certificate away. Oh, well. Sounds like your dad did you a solid. Add an extra few seconds to your next hug. He's not the one trying to emotionally manipulate, guilt trip you. I mean, yeah, he did do that to the wife. Like, he didn't manipulate the daughter, but he definitely manipulated the wife. So I'm not going to sit here and. There's not a lot of reason for the daughter to be mad at the dad, because when the mom was struggling, she was she was a newborn. She has no clue of like she's just heard stories, but she's grown to like her name, and that's the name she's attached to. That's what people call her. That's what her friends call her. So that I'm not even gonna. The daughter's not gonna hate the dad, but not the asshole. Neither is your mom. Edit to add. That's a betrayal of a huge degree. I would change it to Caitlin. What? How about Catherine then with a K? Whatever. Your dad's a prick. I would have divorced him. Well, what is your name? I kind of wonder what her name is, but I think that your dad's an asshole. I think that your mom's an asshole for, and her like guilt tripping you because of this name that you now like. At a certain point, get over it. But also, maybe just maybe y'all just shouldn't be together. I don't know. I hate that so many of these, like, I read and I'm like, why are y'all still together? I've seen healthy relationships end in divorce. You know what I mean? And that's annoying to me. That's a very annoying fact of life that I've observed. It's just like the amount of times, like, a relationship that's healthier. Like, I've known relationships where nothing like this happened. It could just literally be something as simple as like, well, I guess that's not really simple. I was going to say, I got a little bored. I think if you're getting a little bored, it's a problem, but you can work through that. And I don't know. I just, damn, dude, I was really hoping to hop into this one and break the misandry accusations, but they are ongoing. I mean, not for me, but in the comments, because no one's called me a misandrist yet. But I called it as I sees it, man. I'm not really here to like. I mean, it seems like most of the time I agree with the overall consensus of what I read, because sometimes I think it's blatantly obvious. Like, you're not an asshole for wanting to keep the name that you've known your entire life. I don't think you're an asshole for that. But there's so many like extra complications that get people worked up, and it's just, it's crazy how like most of this conversation, the talk you're gonna get of it is like the dad and the mom and them. It's not really like the person that made this post asking if they're an asshole. They're put on the back burner because it's like almost immediately decided like, you're not an asshole. Let's talk about your weird ass parents. But that's got to feel bad, man. That's got to feel bad. Your mom's gonna guilt trip you about it, and you're like the nightmare. You're the nightmare birth. Ugh. Well, hopefully that doesn't really hurt your self-esteem too much. You're cool with it. You seem to not, some of these I read and I feel really bad about based on the way they type the situation, but I think you'll be okay. I hope. You're not the asshole though, so don't worry about that.